Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have some breaking news regarding God of War Ragnarok. There's been a lot of conversation about when this game is going to release, if it's going to get delayed into 2023, is it going to be a holiday release for PlayStation this year? A lot of people were expecting it to show up at Summer Game Fest yesterday, and unfortunately it didn't show up. But now we have Bloomberg, or specifically Jason Schreier's Bloomberg, coming out here and letting us know that as of right now, God of War Ragnarok is planned to release in November of this year. So if we go over to the article, this was written up today, and it was published almost an hour ago as of the time of this recording, and it says the highly anticipated PlayStation game God of War Ragnarok is planned for release this November, according to 3 people familiar with the game's development, despite reports this week that it had slipped to 2023. And so that's something I want to mention here is I was going to originally make a video talking about some of these reports because there were reports that apparently God of War Ragnarok was delayed into next year. And the fact that it didn't show up at Summer Game Fest, I think kind of, made a lot of people think, oh, I guess there must be some truth to this. Continues here by saying publisher Sony is expected to announce the release date later this month, 2 of the people said. They continue here by saying a recent report from the European gaming website Game Reactor, combined with the game's absence at big industry events such as Summer Game Fest and Sony's own State of Play, led to speculation that God of War Ragnarok wouldn't be out until 2023. No dates are certain in the turbulent world of game development, and it still may be delayed again, but as of this week, it's still on track for November, the people said, asking not to be identified, discussing information that isn't public. And so, this is something that I do want to let everybody know, as far as exciting as this report is, that as of this week, it's slated for November of this year. Sony still has not officially confirmed this, and it's true that the game could still slip. So we don't want to sit here and say or assume that it's a guarantee it's coming out in November. But this does give us a lot of confidence, simply because, it makes sense that God of War would maybe go for a November release over, say, what we were originally thinking, maybe a September release, because we just learned that The Last of Us Part 1 or The Last of Us Remake is going to be launching in September. We know that Forspoken is launching in October, so November seems like the perfect time for a game like God of War Ragnarok to launch, even though that's not usually a month where Sony launches big games. At this point in time, as I said, there's not that much competition, and a game as big as God of War commands the attention. And I think that a game like God of War is not a title that needs to be worried about other games around it. I think it's the other way around. I think any game that's launching around God of War may need to be concerned at that point. And we know that November, it's the big spending month where everybody's doing their holiday shopping. Consoles are going to be flying off the shelves at an even more rapid rate than they currently are, and people are going to be looking for games to pick up. Maybe Sony will even do like a bundle. That's a possibility, but nonetheless, I think November sounds right. And they say here in the article that the release date is planned to be revealed at the end of this month. That's just in a couple of weeks' time. They could do it in a blog post, but there's also the possibility they could do a dedicated State of Play for God of War Ragnarok, showing off a proper gameplay demonstration and then announcing the release date at the end of it. But, we've been hearing from a lot of different people, even developers working on the game, that God of War Ragnarok is coming out in 2022. So again, while I don't want to say it's a guarantee, I'm feeling, relatively confident. I can't say I'm feeling extremely confident, because we know what happens anytime MBG feels extremely confident. It turns out to be the opposite of whatever it is I'm feeling confident about. But still, I hope this is true. I do hope God of War comes out this year. I would be okay, ultimately, if it does slip into 2023. It would be disappointing, but it's true, you can't rush quality, and I think I speak for every PlayStation fan, every God of War fan, when I say we would much rather Sony and Santa Monica Studio, if they have to delay the game to make sure it's 100% ready to go, then that's what they should do. We'll wait for that. It's not a big deal, but it will be awesome if it releases this year. This is the final thing I want to say. If Sony does manage to get God of War Ragnarok out before the end of this year, man, PlayStation fans are eating good in the second half of 2022. Pretty much the entirety of 2022, PlayStation fans are eating good. We're looking at The Last of Us Part 1 in September, Forspoken in October, and God of War Ragnarok in November. And then even though it's not an exclusive, but still getting a game like the Callisto Protocol in December, I mean, it's looking really good. You know, that on top of getting games like GT7, Horizon Forbidden West, Sony's been doing a really good job. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with this. And, you know, before I go, I will say, how funny would it be if when Sony announces the release date for God of War Ragnarok, they announce that it's going to release on November 11th, 2022. That would be the ultimate troll for PlayStation, or for Xbox fans, I should say. It would be crazy because we know that Starfield was set to launch on that date, November 11th. They kind of made a big deal out of it. Then they had to delay it to 2023. It would be pretty funny, pretty comical if Sony went for that date. I think even Xbox fans would be able to laugh about that, because it's like, I mean, it's right there. It's right there for the taking, you know? So anyway, that does it for this video, guys. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll be interested to see what you have to say. Be sure to leave the video a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.